we're going to do a little bit more practice with converting a fraction to a decimal. And the main difference between this activity and the first fraction to decimal was we're going to use denominators of 1,000 in some of these questions. So same as before, you look at your denominator and you decide what you need to multiply by. In most cases you'll multiply, sometimes you can get away with dividing. What do you need to multiply by to get a denominator that is 10, 100, or 1,000? 14/20ths. These are both even, so I can actually divide both of these. I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 2. And that will give me the denominator of 10. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And now I can write this as a decimal, 7/10, 0.7. What about 9/30ths? I either want to go from 30 to 10 or 30 to 100. If I go from 30 to 10, I'm dividing by 3. Can I divide the top by 3? Yes, so that works. So top and bottom divide by 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And this is 3/10, which is written 0.3. 9/50ths. If I try to make a denominator of 10, I would have to divide by 5. But I cannot divide 9 by 5 evenly. So I'm going to have to do try the next one, which is 100. And I can do that. 50 times 2 is 100. You can always multiply the top. You just can't always divide it evenly. So 50 times 2 is 100. 9 times 2 is 18. 18/100ths. So the last digit here of my 18 should be in the hundredths column. Tenths, hundredths. 18/100ths looks like that. I'll write it nicer. 0.18. Okay. 471 out of 500. If I wanted to make this denominator 100, I would have to divide 500 by 5. Can I divide 471 by 5? No. This doesn't end in a 0 or a 5. So I have to go to the next one up, which was 1,000. And 500 times 2 is 1,000. And 471, I'm just going to add it to itself instead of multiplying by 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. 7 and 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 9. 942. So 942 thousandths, how would you write that as a decimal? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. And it looks like that, 942 thousandths. 11/40ths. Can I use 10 as a denominator? Well, that would be 40 divided by 4, and I cannot do 11 divided by 4. What about 100? 40 times what gives me 100? It doesn't go evenly, because 40 times 2 is 80, and then if I add another 40, that's 120. So it looks like I have to do 1,000 as the denominator. Now, 40 times what is 1,000? Well, to find this out, you're actually doing 1,000 divided by 40, right? Because whatever this number is, let's call it n. If 40n equals 1,000, then to find what n is, I do 1,000 divided by 40. And I'm going to write it on top of each other like this. You could also write it like this. But this way you can see I can divide the top and bottom by 10. Because whatever your number is, as long as you do the same thing to the top and bottom, your number stays the same. So now this might look a little bit more doable. 100 divided by 4. And if you think of $1 as 100 cents, then 100 divided by 4 is a quarter, which is 25. So that means 40 times 25 is 100. And if you really, really want, you can check it with a calculator. Now I need to do 11 times 25. 11 times 25. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 5, 7, 2. So 275 thousandths, which is written as that. So that's your answer.